Hello, social class. I hope you guys are well. Wanted to apologize for not posting for the last few days. It's been too difficult to come on here and talk about what we're looking at in social studies class and not comment on what's happening in the world right now, and especially in the United States. We are seeing movements across the world in support of Black Lives Matter. Well, I've been a little hesitant to speak up on this Instagram page. I've had a lot to say on my Twitter account and my own personal Instagram page, but here to you as students, it's been a little difficult to try to articulate what I want to say. So I'll start with a couple things. One, I think it's important for you to stay informed and for you to have an understanding of what you're seeing and what's going on and the why behind it. And I recommend that you do some reading and you do some research and that you understand what racial capitalism is about, that you understand what the 13th Amendment in the United States and the 14th and the 15th, all directed towards ending slavery and creating equality and ending segregation and allowing for mass voting rights across the United States and that legacy that comes with it. And to understand that there is a historical legacy behind what's happening. Now, I'm not here to take sides, not pointing fingers at or trying to say that police officers are bad or that, some people have said to me, well, all lives matter. And all I can say to that is this, is that if all lives matter, then it is our responsibility within a democracy to protect our most vulnerable, to protect our children, to protect people of color, to protect those that are being marginalized. And we cannot just ignore the minority because they are the minority. And it behooves us to understand where privilege comes from. And so documentaries like the 13th Amendment that's on Netflix right now does a great job of looking at and in detail explaining the why. And that's what I would encourage you to do, is when you're having conversations with your friends and your family, that you ask that simple question, the why. Why is this happening? Why are people so angry? Why are people dying? Why are so many young black men being incarcerated in the United States? Why is the system failing us? Because if we are going to find solutions, if we're going to find answers, and if we're going to move forward into a better world, then we need to be able to find and understand what is wrong with our system today. Because that's what democracy is supposed to be about. Protecting those that can't protect themselves. Ensuring that we all stand up and our voices are heard. And that we are educated, and we are knowledgeable. This is at the heart of what social studies class is all about. It is about you learning your place in the world and how the world works around you. And to understand that the problems that we have didn't happen yesterday. They happened in the past. And they have taken root. And it has grown to the point where here we are in 2020 and we still have a systemic problem, even though slavery ended 150 years ago. How's that possible? And to say that it doesn't affect us because we're in Canada and Canada is not a racist nation, and I think we all know that that's not true. I think we all know that we can do better. And it's not to say that we're all racist, but that racism exists at the heart of all of us. We look at people who are different from us differently. And how do we overcome that? You are our future. You are the generation that's going to be faced with dealing with these problems, whether it be the environment, whether it be dealing with pandemic crisis, or the economy, or racial issues. And so my challenge to you is, do some real thinking. Think for yourself and ask yourself, is this right or wrong? I would put it into a simple context like this. How many of you would want to be treated like a black man in America? Or to put it into a more relevant context, how many of you would want to face and be treated like First Nations people in our community? I think there'd be very few hands going up in my classroom right now. And what does that say? It says we don't want to be treated that way. So we know that there is a problem. We know we don't want it for ourselves. But we're not going to say anything about it. You are powerful beyond imagination. And your power lies in your ability to have a voice. So how do you, as a high school kid living in McGrath, Alberta, have a voice? Well, it's pretty simple. It starts by doing some thinking, doing some reading, finding a level of understanding of what's going on, developing empathy, true empathy of how horrible that would be, how privileged we are to not be judged that way. And then being willing to stand up and speak out for that. You're going to get to my age, and you're going to be pretty old, and you're going to realize that nothing that you do in life and nothing that you say in life really matters as much as how you make others feel. That will be your legacy. That will be how people will remember you. And I'm conscious of that every day. That for all the students who might think Mr. Hansen's a good guy and he cared about me as a teacher, then I know I have to live with the fact that there are students and basketball players who thought I was a horrible teacher or a horrible coach because I made them feel bad about themselves. That I failed to make them understand how much I truly cared about them as an individual. And that hurts me and wounds me to know that I've caused that pain in people's lives. And it's what motivates me to keep going as a teacher, to try to be better and to try to ensure that my students know how much I care about them, that I make them feel important, that I make them feel empowered, to let them know that they do matter, that you matter. And so we need to stand up right now. And we need to make sure that people know that they matter, that Black lives matter. Because Black people across America right now and around the world, I don't think feel that way. And they should. They should know how important they are. Be well, everybody.